There we go, we are live. So welcome everyone, welcome to the weekly Yoga Biz coaching and training with me, Kelly McHugh. I'm the founder of Digital Yoga Academy, and I'm doing a three-way here on Instagram and also in the Digital Yoga Academy Facebook page and in our group as well. So in our group, we've got 8,000 yoga teachers from all over the world. So say hello, guys, when you join me. And let me know where you're watching from as well. I always love to know where you're watching in from. So every week I come on here live and deliver a training to you guys. So a coaching and business training for you on a specific topic. And today's topic is all about Facebook ads. Okay, so if you're interested in Facebook ads, you really want to tune in, you want to stay with me for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. It depends how long I end up talking for. But today I'm talking to you about the #1 Facebook ad strategy that I recommend yoga teachers to use. Okay, so if you have any questions on this topic, please add them into the comments box on Facebook or on Instagram, wherever you're watching. And do say hello and let me know where you're watching from as well. So as you start to join the live feed, let me know where you're watching from, guys, on Instagram, and say hello. So if you're just joining me now, my name is Kelly McHugh. I'm the founder of Digital Yoga Academy, and I'm here every week. Hey Rose, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. And today I'm talking about Facebook ads. Okay, now lots of teachers are quite interested in Facebook ads, and it can feel a little bit daunting if you don't really know what you're doing and you go and take a look around in Ads Manager, and then you feel even more overwhelmed because you just don't know where to start. Now, there are lots of ways that you can run your ads. And when I say Facebook ads, what I actually mean is Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so you'll set up your Instagram ads in Facebook Ads Manager as well. So lots of people refer to it as Facebook ads, but what they actually mean is Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so that's the first thing to remember. And yeah, like I said, you'll set up your ads in Ads Manager. Okay, so Facebook has a platform called Ads Manager, and you can set them up from your Ads Manager dashboard. You don't want to be pressing the boost button. So you'll know that when you post on Instagram or when you post on Facebook, you can see a button that says boost alongside the post after you've posted it. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be using that option, because if you use that option, then you're just going to be given a limited number of options to set up your ad, and you won't be able to use the Facebook ad strategy that I'm going to be talking to you about today. Okay, you won't be able to access it. Now, so you always want to be going into Facebook Ads Manager to set up your ads. Okay, so that's one key thing to keep in mind. Never use the boost button. And the #1 strategy then that I recommend yoga teachers to use, and this is the strategy that I always say that you should always start with, okay? And it's called retargeting, okay? So what is it? So retargeting essentially is sending ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, to people who already know you, okay? So they've already had some kind of interaction with you online, and you send an ad to that person and they already know who you are, okay? That is what a retargeting ad is. You're targeting someone, well, you're retargeting someone who's already had some type of engagement or interaction with you, okay? Now, retargeting ads, they are a much safer place to start when you're just first starting out with Facebook and Instagram ads, okay? So it's a much safer place to start when you first start running your ads, because the audience that you're sending your ads to, they already know you, and therefore they're more likely to convert, and this means that it's going to cost less to target them. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know in the comments if that's making sense. Let me just take a look here. Hey, Katarina, she's watching from Sweden. Thank you for joining. So yeah, so it's a much safer place for you to spend your money, essentially, because you're targeting people that already know you. Maybe they've been on your website or they follow you on Instagram, and therefore, because they already know you, they're more likely to convert. Now, what do I mean by that? They're more likely to book your yoga retreat, or to book a place on a workshop that you're running, or to sign up to your online course. They're more likely to take these actions if they already know who you are. Now, if you don't run your ad as a retargeting ad, okay, so if you run a Facebook ad based on interest, okay, so somebody's interest in yoga, then what you're essentially doing is you're competing with all of the other yoga teachers and yoga studios and yoga brands who are also running ads targeting someone based on their interest of yoga. Okay, so can you just see how there's going to be a lot more ads that out there in Facebook that are being run based on somebody's interest of yoga, but there'll be much less number of ads being run targeting the people who already know you, specifically already know you. So therefore, you're more likely to reach your people, okay? You're more likely to reach the people who already know you than you are to reach people who are receiving ads based on their interest. Does that make sense? I'm trying to break it down in the easiest way possible, but I hope that makes sense to you. So, you know, if you run ads that are based on the interest of yoga, and say, you know, you've got other brands, yoga studios who are also doing that as well, it's going to cost you more, guys. It's going to cost you way more to run those adverts, because you're competing with all the other people and other brands and teachers and studios who are also running the ads based on someone that is interested in yoga. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you. So the number one thing that you want to do, the number one Facebook ad strategy that you want to use as a yoga teacher, okay, who you might have limited ad spend for one, the number one strategy that you want to use is, of course, retargeting. So retargeting the people who already know you. I'm going to take a sip of water. Bear me one sec. Okay, so how do we do this? You're probably wondering. So first up, so let me just take a step back. You're going to be running these ads if you are promoting things like, any ideas, guys? What might you be promoting if you're running the Facebook ads? Okay, so I've mentioned some things already. So retreats. So let's say that, I mean, in an ideal scenario, you want to have built up a community and you want to have a decent number of people on your email list, so that when you share your retreat, details of your retreat, and you actually launch it, those places get filled by the people on your email list already. That's the ideal scenario. But there'll always be cases at some point in your retreat hosting journey where you might have some places that you still need to fill, okay? Now, you know, the best thing for you to do is to target people who have been on your website and who have actually looked at that specific page on your website. They've read the information about your retreat, but they haven't yet booked yet. Imagine then being able to send those people an advert about your retreat, and maybe even an incentive, perhaps, a bestie deal. If they book with their friend, they both get £100 off, or some kind of extra offer that you can give to them if they book as a result of seeing your ads. Okay, now you might recognize that scenario. Think about your own behavior when you go onto online shopping sites. If you go onto ASOS or something like that, and then you end up on Facebook and you see the exact products that you've been looking at on ASOS, show up in your feed. Yeah, has that happened to everybody? I'm sure it has at some point. That is a retargeting advert. You are being shown a retargeting advert, and it's exactly the same here, okay? So if you want to fill those last spaces on your yoga retreat, one of the best things that you can do to really, the most cost effective, or the most effective in terms of, you know, maximizing your conversions, and also saving, you know, not wasting money, it's a key thing, is to send an advert to somebody who's been on your website and read the information about your yoga retreat, okay? So that's one thing that you're going to do, that you'll be able to use these ads for. So I'm just having a look here. So Thomas says classes, workshops, the yoga midwife, she says workshops, retreats. And yeah, cheers guys, thank you for those. So let me know that you're watching, and let me know where you're watching from. And I'm asking you what you might use Facebook ads for, retargeting Facebook ads. Let's have a look over here on Facebook, see what's coming in on the comments. Nikki, hey Nikki, she says it makes total sense. That's great. Let's have a look here. Okay, so one of the other things that you might use retargeting ads for is to get people onto your email list, okay? So let's say you have a huge following on Instagram, but you hardly have anybody on your email list. Well, if you watch these weekly videos with me, you'll know that I always say email over social, okay? Social is the thing that looks pretty and it looks great, but really what you need are people on your email list, okay? That's where sales happen, that's where conversions happen, is through nurturing people on your email list by offering them tons of value and things that they're really interested in that are going to help them with their yoga journey. Those are the people who are going to book onto your workshops. Those are the people who are going to book your retreats. Those are the people that are going to enroll on your online courses, okay? So one of the ways that you can use retargeting ads is to target people, your followers, on Facebook and Instagram, and offer them something, okay? It's called an opt-in freebie. If you want to learn about opt-in freebies, I've done a training, I've done a couple of trainings just on opt-in freebies. So you can head to the Facebook group or to my Facebook page, go to videos and just have a look through the videos at some of the previous trainings that I've done. I've done quite a number of trainings on email marketing and opt-in freebies. So you can have some piece of content, something that's going to be really valuable to your ideal student, and promote that in a Facebook ad, in a retargeting ad, to get those people who are already following you on your Facebook and Instagram, and get those people onto your email list so that you can start having a deeper conversation with them. So you can start nurturing that relationship, okay? You can start nurturing the relationship and moving them down your sales funnel, which I'm going to talk to you right at the very end. Okay, so we've talked about what retargeting is, and we've talked about what type of adverts, like why you would use retargeting, what types of things you would be promoting. Now I want to talk to you about how you set it up, okay? So the way you set it up is to use something called custom audiences. Anybody heard of custom audiences? Let's have a look here. Excuse me, I'm a little bit stuck. I'm a bit bunged up today. Okay, so Katerina says, I use Facebook ads and retargeting ads for my courses. Amazing. What experience have you had with them, Katerina? Let us know. Okay, so the way that you set this up is to use something called custom audiences, and you find the option for setting up your custom audiences in Facebook Ads Manager underneath audiences, okay? It'll give you a number of different options. It will take you through a little flow to set up your audiences, and you can set up lots of different audiences, and I like to refer to the audiences as buckets, okay? And I'll tell you why in a moment. But you can set up lots of different audiences. So you can set up an audience for people who have been on your website and even specifically have landed on a specific page on your website, okay? So you can set up a custom audience for those people. Maybe even read a specific blog post. You can be very, very specific with that. And you can set up audiences for people who follow you on Instagram, people who follow you on Facebook. You can set up custom audience of the people who are on your email list, okay? So you can upload the emails of people on your email list into Facebook, and Facebook will look for a match. And you can set up custom audiences for people who have watched videos on social media, so specific videos. Maybe it might be a video of your yoga retreat, okay? You can set up a custom audience of people who have watched 75%. This is how specific you can be. 75% of a specific video, okay? So what can you tell from that? If somebody's watched 75% of one of your videos, chances are they're quite interested in what they're watching, okay? Okay. Right, okay, bear with me 1 second. So we've got these custom audiences, and I'm just looking here. Vera says, she says, Facebook, I have only my friends. Okay, so are you referring to your Facebook personal account? Because what you want to be doing here is you want to have a Facebook business account. You want to have a Facebook business account. This is really important, guys. If you don't have a Facebook yoga business account, you cannot run Facebook ads. Okay, so this is one of the main reasons why you need to have a Facebook business account. Even if you say to me, well, Kelly, I post on Facebook and nobody engages with that, or Facebook is dead, I don't need a Facebook business account because Facebook is dead, everything's happening over on Instagram. Well, guess what, guys? If you want to run Facebook or Instagram ads, you need to have a Facebook yoga business account. If you don't have that, you can't use Ads Manager, you can't run Facebook or Instagram accounts. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so okay, and if you haven't got your Facebook yoga business page set up yet and you don't know how to do it, go onto the Digital Yoga Academy blog, because I have an article where I lay out the 7 steps to get your page set up. So there really is no excuse. Okay, right, okay, let me crack on. So we're going to set up these custom audiences. And now I want you to visualize them as buckets, okay? So you've got these buckets, one for your website, one for Facebook, one for Instagram, maybe one for some videos, and so on, right? So you've got your buckets. And now what happens is when you set this up, let me use the website as an example. You'd need to have what's called a Facebook pixel, okay? You might have heard of this before. You need to have your Facebook pixel set up on your website, okay? So your Facebook pixel is a piece of code that you find in Facebook Ads Manager, okay? If you're using a site like WordPress, you simply use a WordPress plugin, okay? So you use a plugin, you just install a plugin, and it will say in the plugin, add your code here. And you copy the code from Facebook Ads Manager and you pop it over into the plugin by pasting the data in, okay? It's easy. There's no excuse for not doing this, okay? Because it's super easy. So once you've got that piece of code on your website, what happens is this. Somebody goes onto your website, okay? Someone goes onto your website because they've just read a blog post or they've just clicked on something from Facebook, let's say, where you've shared a blog post. They're now on your website. Those people land on your website and the Facebook pixel will take some data from that person's computer, okay? It grabs a little bit of data from that person's computer, and then the pixel will take that data to Facebook, and it will look for a match in Facebook. Okay, so it will look through all of the Facebook accounts that are there, all of the Facebook profiles, and it will look for a match for that person. Okay, when it finds a match, it adds that person into the bucket. Does this make sense? Does this make sense, guys? Oh, Vera says, you're helping us a lot because I didn't know anything about how to promote. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement. No worries. So I am here, passionate about sharing this information, you know, these strategies with all of you, and trying my very best to break it down in a easy, digestible way, because I know that some of this, or much of it, can be so overwhelming. Okay, so I'm here to help you with this, so that you guys can build your businesses and have, you know, the success that you should be having as yoga teachers. Okay, so what happens is we start filling up our buckets. Okay, we start filling up our buckets. Facebook will grab the information from Instagram of all the people that are following you and liking your posts and commenting on your posts, who are engaging with you, and Facebook will grab that information and it will stick it into the Instagram bucket. Okay, it does the same with your Facebook business page, sticks that information into the business, into your Facebook bucket. And it's not just the people who like or follow you on Facebook and Instagram. It will also be the people that find you organically on those platforms and maybe liked your post or commented on it, but don't necessarily follow you. Okay, so it's going to take all of that information and start filling up the buckets. And this, everyone, this is why content is crucial. Is so crucial, because the only way that you can fill up those buckets is if you start sharing your content on those platforms, okay? And people start engaging with you on those platforms. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let me just check my notes to make sure I've covered everything. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. So, okay, so you start filling up your buckets. And then what you can do is then you can set up your ads, okay? And instead of targeting someone who likes yoga or has an interest in yoga, you won't use any of the interest targeting options at all. So when you're in Facebook Ads Manager, you skip past the interest targeting options, and instead you select your custom audience, okay? So you select your custom audience, so your website bucket, your Instagram bucket, your Facebook bucket, your video bucket, whichever custom audiences you'll set up, maybe your email list bucket, and you run your ad to target just those people, okay? Does that make sense, guys? Give me some feedback. And you know, your ads will be much more effective for you because they'll cost less, and you know, those people who are receiving your ads are much more likely to convert. They're much more likely to book onto your retreat, your workshop, your online courses. You know, they'll see your ad and they'll straight away recognize it because they know you. So they'll be like, oh wow, you know, this is Emily popping up in my feed. Oh, it's her retreat. Oh wow, I forgot about the retreat, but I was actually quite interested in that. Let me take a look. Okay, so this is how it happens. This is how the thought process happens. Think about your own behavior in these instances as well. And the types of ads that you click on are probably from brands or people or influencers that you are interested in, that you already have, that you maybe already follow, maybe you've been on their website, you interact and engage with them in some way, shape or form. Okay. The other thing that you should do is you should test your ads, okay? So with your retargeting ads, let them run for a few days, let the algorithm take pace, and let your ads run, and then you want to be testing them. So you can test the different audiences, so you can see which audiences are working best for you. You know, you might find that it's your Instagram audience is doing really, really well. Test different formats. So you could test video against images. You could test a few different images to see which one is performing best with each custom audience. So don't just forget your ads when you set them up. You need to be looking at the data, and you need to start learning, you know, how to read the data. So looking at your conversions. Let's say that you are running an ad to get people onto your email list. So I mentioned this before. Let's say that you're setting up an ad, and it's to promote a free piece of content. Maybe it's something like a free meditation, okay? And you're running that ad to people who follow you on social media, but who don't already or who are not already on your email list, okay? So what you would do here when you set up this ad is you would exclude your email list so that it only targets those people who follow you on social media but are not already on your email list. And then the goal and the aim of this ad is to get people who follow you on social onto your email list. Does that make sense? Okay, so what you would be doing is you'd be running a conversion ad. You'd be running a conversion ad. And always when you set up ads, you don't want to be putting like £100 on it or anything like that. I think this question has just come in now, which is about a budget. You want to be setting up a daily budget. And because when you first start an ad up, you want to be testing a few things. Don't just run one ad and that's it. You want to at least be testing 3 images, okay, to see which one is going to have the highest click-through rate. And you just want to be using a few dollars or a few pounds, no more than $5 or pounds to begin with for each ad per day, okay? Just small amounts of budgets, just small budgets, just to test and see what's getting out there, what the reach is that you're getting with these ads, what the click-through rates are, and what your conversions are looking like. Okay, does that make sense? So it can be quite tempting to just stick £100 on there because you think that if you put, you know, a high budget on there, that it's going to reach more people and it's going to have more success. Ads don't work like that. Facebook and Instagram ads do not work like that. You have to test. You have to use small budgets to begin with to see what's getting the most traction. And then you can start to build up your daily budget as you become more confident in the copy and the images that you're using or the videos that you're using. Does that make sense? Okay, which means, this is what it means. It's actually you know, it's actually less risky to give this a go, okay, to not be put off, because you're not going to be spending a lot of money to begin with. And I really encourage you, if you've never used Facebook or Instagram ads before, to give this strategy a go, to set up your pixel, to set up your custom audiences, to start having a play with what's, you know, resonating with your audience, okay? And yeah, so test things. But what I wanted to finish up on today is really to think about it, how this relates to the bigger picture. How this relates to the bigger picture. And I already touched on this a little bit. And the way it relates to the bigger picture is in terms of your sales funnel or your yoga marketing funnel, okay? And the importance of content. So I want you to think of it like this. I want you to visualize a funnel, and at the very, very top, we're sharing content, okay? We're sharing things like a blog post that we've just written. And where are we going to share that? We're going to share it on Facebook. We're going to go on to, so we're going to share the actual link to the blog post that we've written on Facebook with a little summary. We're going to share it on Instagram. We're going to share it on Instagram. We're going to do a post about it, and then we're going to add the link to our blog post in the bio. and we're going to do some stories about it. Maybe we'll go live and we'll add the link, or we'll say to people, you know, DM me and I'll send you the link to this amazing blog post that I've just written on the 10 things to expect at your first yoga class. So let's say our ideal student is a beginner. And so we're going to share it in all of these places. And what we're essentially doing is we're sharing the link to the blog post. And what happens when somebody clicks on that link? What happens when someone clicks on that link? They land on our website, which is the very top of our marketing funnel. Okay, it's the very top of our marketing funnel. Now, when they land on our website, what do we want them to do? We don't want them just to consume content on our website. We actually want to use that as an opportunity to start a relationship. And if that person disappears from our website, never to be seen again, we can't start a relationship. Now, the great thing about them landing on our website is that we now have the pixel on our website. So that person not only ends up in our website bucket, but we also now have the opportunity to retarget them with an advert. Okay, so we're aiming now to move them down the funnel. Okay, so the first part of the funnel at the top is them landing on the website. The second part of the funnel is them getting onto our email list and becoming an email subscriber. That is what we're trying to do. We're trying to move them down the funnel so that we can start that relationship with them, and we can start a conversation with them in their inbox. Okay, so on our website, we want to have opt-in boxes. We want to have another piece of content, and this again is why content is absolutely essential. We want to have a piece of content that we're going to offer to them, that we're going to say, hey, you've just come onto my website, you wanted to find out, you were reading this blog post, now I'm going to send you a little video, or or a meditation, or I'm going to send you something to your inbox. And it wants to be something that you know that your ideal student is really interested in and really wants from you. Okay, so you want to have a really good piece of content that they really want at that point when they've just landed on your website, that will encourage them to type in their details into your opt-in box to end up on your email list. Does that make sense? Now, if they don't do that, this is where your retargeting adverts can come into play, because you can actually promote that piece of content on Facebook and encourage them to sign up for that piece of content and end up on your email list through your Facebook ad. Okay, so that's how it relates to the bigger picture. And of course, when someone is on your email list, guys, you can start to nurture that relationship. And this isn't necessarily a quick win. Okay, this isn't necessarily a quick win. This is a strategy. This is a strategy for building a sustainable and profitable yoga business. Okay, this isn't a quick win of something that's going to happen tomorrow and you're going to make loads of money tomorrow. I'm guessing that you guys are all wanting to teach yoga for a very long time. So you need a long-term strategy, okay? This is what marketing is about, okay? This is what marketing is about. It's not quick wins, this is about using marketing strategies that are going to help you to build a community who really resonate with you and who really want what you have to offer. And they want to be loyal. They want to stay in your community. They're going to book yoga retreat again and again and again. They're going to enroll on your online courses and so on. So this is how it relates to the bigger picture. Okay. Are there any questions before I lose my voice? Before I lose my voice today. And I have actually got 2 more coaching calls to do today. So I should probably sign off here before my voice gets any worse. Any questions coming in, guys, from you on what you've learned today? I know I've given you a lot of information today. But really, if you are thinking about Facebook ads, this is the only strategy that I want you to use, okay? So at least give me a thumbs up on that. I do not want you to start meddling with, running ads, targeting yoga. Do not do that, Please do not do that unless you want to waste your money. Do not do that. Because if you're going to start doing that, you need to have a much greater understanding of Facebook ads and how to test different target groups, and you really need to have a, you know, it's a much more sophisticated strategy to run ads using interest groups. There's a lot that goes into it in terms of really analyzing the groups and testing. You have to do so much testing to get it right. So I don't want you to do that, because I know that you don't have time to do that, okay? Or the budget to do that as well. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys, today. Let's have a look. Anything? So, okay, so Fuzia, hey, how are you? Nice to have you here. She says, let's have a look. She says, there's quite a few questions actually. How do you put your email list into Ads Manager? You need to go to custom audiences, and it's called customer list. You get all of the different options. It's called customer list, and you can upload the email list there. You need to have your list in a CSV format. And she also says, any tips on drafting copy? Yes, I do have some tips on drafting copy, actually. And this is where you really need to listen to your ideal students. The best copy that you can use in your Facebook and Instagram ads is the copy and the words that have come out of the mouths of your students, okay? So it's really important that you use things like surveys, and that you find out, you know, what your students are struggling with. What are their challenges? Where are they in their yoga journey right now, and they need help from you as their teacher, okay? If you're, you know, for instance, if you're promoting a freebie, an opt-in freebie, that piece of content, the best piece of content that you can put out there to get the highest conversions and to get the most people to sign up for that piece of content is to create something that's going to offer a solution to your students, to the problem or challenge that your students are having right now in their yoga journey. So this requires you to understand who your students are. And how do you do that? You talk to them. You talk to them after class. You do surveys. You do polls on Instagram stories. You ask questions. You get to understand your community and your audience and what they need from you, okay? So the classic example is the beginner, and I already spoke about this, and I speak about it a lot, actually. I need to get some new examples, but that's the classic example. It's like, what conversation is a beginner having in their head, okay? When they first start thinking about yoga and going to the yoga class, what are they thinking? They're thinking things like, oh, maybe I need to be more flexible, actually. Maybe I won't go just yet. I need to be more flexible. That's a classic, right? I heard that at the weekend. You know, oh, well, I just don't know what to expect. What do I have to wear? Like, what's it going to be like? They don't know what to expect. They have worries and fears that actually could stop them from going to that class. So you could create a piece of content around that, okay? It can be a checklist, things to bring to your first yoga class, or what to expect, or whatever it might be. You know, it's up to you to start to think about this in more detail and to create something that your students are really going to need enough to give you their email address, okay? Okay. So that's where you want to base your copy, is around that, okay? That's going to be the most powerful, when you can really connect to the challenges and the struggles that your audience are having in your copy. Okay, guys, I'm going to shoot off now. Like I said, I have got 2 group coaching calls today, and my voice is getting a little bit squeaky. So, but I'll be back next week. And yeah, looking forward to chatting with you and connecting with you next week. All right, take care. Bye.